there's some tens out there, but they're not 10 tens, you know.
Yep.
So this would be a pop one, and from my understanding, I guess there should be like a premium of like a 30% upcharge or something like that, and it recently sold for 1350.
Well, I mainly had a question on a certain card if you would get it graded or not,
Go for
just
it.
because it is a 2023 select draft picks Miles Murphy Red Laser Auto numbered to 5.
A couple weeks ago, pulled a Patrick Mahomes Kaboom vertical. We got the big Dallas card show coming up, and I'm stuck on what to do with it. Keep it or get it graded.
We are live for episode number 57 of the Eric Michaels Show, and episode number 100 will be here before we know it. And welcome to the show. If you're new, this is where I talk about sports cards. People call in. You can see I have this little earpiece connected. I give people advice, business, money, mostly sports cards and sports, but it could really go anywhere, to be honest with you guys. And what I like to do in the beginning of these shows is give you guys as much value as possible. So if you're newer to this, so I teach people how to make money buying and selling sports cards, and I do this show to introduce people to the idea of making money with sports cards. Number one, to help, but number two, hey, maybe they'll want to buy my program one day if I give them enough free value. And it's pretty rewarding actually, because a lot of people, if you go back like a month or 2 months ago to other episodes, you could see people calling in to this show that are getting into sports cards, and now they're calling back and they're actually making money just purely from this show. So I'd like to think or tell myself, hey, at least I must be giving a little bit of value. But while we wait for some people to call in, let's go live and buy some cards on eBay. So this is super cool. Yep, so Instagram, or not Instagram. So Optic just came out. So if you don't know what Optic is, so if you look at my screen here, we have Optic. So Optic Football, and this is actually side note. So I think this is so funny. So my CMO, the person who runs all of our marketing, is next to me, and he just asked me, like, why is Monopoly Prism a thing? Or like Desert Shield, if you guys know, like 1991 Desert Shield cards, and like some cards have like funny stories behind them. But so like Desert Shield cards, these cards were sent overseas to military soldiers, hence why it's called like Desert Shield. Like, if you guys don't know this, like Desert Shield, Chipper Jones. So this is like the most famous Desert Shield card. And if you look at this card, you could see it has this little Desert Shield on it. So this card was sent overseas to the military and then brought back to the United States, but these cards are more rare, hence they sell for more money. And these cards, so what I was just about to say related to this, is these cards are funny. So these are new cards called Uptown. Oh, that's not how to spell it. Called Uptown. And what these card companies do is they look at cards that are popular. So a very popular type of card are Optic Downtown. These are very popular. And they've been popular for a few years. So Panini's like, these cards sell really good. Let's make something similar called Uptown. And these cards aren't going to sell for the same. But like Panini's also done this with Prism, right? They have something called Monopoly Prism. And why Monopoly Prism exists, so like Monopoly Prism, why these cards exist is because Panini said, okay, Prism's really good. Let's make something really similar to see if we can come up with another product that's almost as popular, because the more popular cards they make, the obviously more cards they sell, more money they make. So these cards are kind of funny how it works. Like Panini will see something that is working well and try to do something very similar. But anyways, like I was saying, so Optic Football just came out. Optic Football is really good. This is really good stuff. It's like almost as good as Prism. And if you look here, so if we look at Market Movers is an app where it kind of tells you trends and data and of cards and stuff like that. If you look at Optic, and I'm just looking at this for the first time. I looked at some other players, but so like Jayden Daniels, you could see his Optic Hollow, which is kind of like his Optic or Silver Prism. It's kind of like the base card, not the base card, but it's kind of like the most popular card. You can see it started at $200 and it's going down, 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 and it'll probably settle at like $70 or $80. So you want to get, like, since this card came out in the middle of April, people get really excited. The cards sell for a lot of money, then they end up coming down. So you want to watch out for that. But some of these cards, like if you want to take a little bit of a risk and buy only a few weeks after these cards come out and be and release, you can get one of the first PSA 10s back from grading. And if you do so, you're going to make a crap ton of money. So let's have a little bit of a look and let's have some fun here. So someone I think is a pretty solid buy right now is I like the idea of buying Caleb Williams. I think he's going to have some hype and excitement. Two tight ends, right? They have Loveland and Cole Kmet. They have DJ Moore. They have Roma Dunze. And don't they have? I'm missing someone. They have someone else. There's depth chart. They have someone else I'm missing. They have DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, DeAndre Swift. Maybe I'm not missing someone. Oh yeah, Luther Burden. Yeah, that's right. They drafted Luther Burden. Yeah, so they are they're loaded. They're loaded. And Ben Johnson at the helm. I mean, man, that offense is gonna look crazy. Ben Johnson was super creative with Jared Goff, who can't move. Imagine what he's gonna do with Caleb Williams. It's gonna be freaking wild. But nonetheless, you should sell these cards before the season starts. But I think people are gonna start to realize these things and say, oh, Caleb Williams is gonna have a good season, and his value is gonna go up. So let's look at some Caleb Williams cards. And honestly, I do think Caleb Williams is a good quarterback. Besides for that, so let's look at let's do minimum $75, min bid count of 1. So what this does is it only shows me auctions with at least 1 bid, which is good because I don't want to look at cards that don't have at least 1 bid. And you can see some of this stuff I'm kind of nervous to buy because it's so new. It's great because these cards, this one's not in that great a condition. The edges here are kind of chipping, but it's great because the cards are in great condition. But the downside is it's new, and these cards are probably going to drop in value. And you can see these cards are going to be hard to grade because these backs are all colored, and because they're colored, these corners are going to chip easier as opposed to if this card is white, right? If the back was white, it'd be harder to chip. So, and these cards are going to be interesting too. These uptown cards, I'm not too big on buying downtowns and uptowns. I don't think they're the best for grading. It's kind of hard to double your money. When I buy a card, I want to at least double my money. But some of these cards, this is a super solid card. I don't know about the condition, but yeah, these cards might be honestly almost as hard to grade as Prism. You could see these corners are whiting so bad. This is a good one. If you grade this a 10, you are making a lot of money. A lot of them. You can see these corners just no good. So buying these cards, just me taking a guess, I would say that I'd want to be at 40 to 50%. If you can get 40 to 50% of them to get a 10, you're making pretty good money. Let's flip this around and just type in Caleb Williams. So let's do our thing here. So this is gonna now show because I'm only typing in Caleb Williams instead of Optic. It's going to show me Prism as well and other products. Let's look at cards not graded. We have downtown. Not big on downtowns. Light blue. Did I just look at this? I may have literally just looked at this. Yeah, I did. I did look at that. Kavi, there was a caller. Oh, no caller. Let's open it up. Let's just type in. Let's type in Prism. Still kind of scared to buy Optic because it's so new. I know I'm just buying as the card's going down. These cards are probably going to drop another 20, 30%. So kind of scared, honestly, to do that. Let's look at cards that are not graded. Caitlin Clark, still a really good buy. Oh, let it through. Got it. Got our first caller. You're live. You got Eric.
Hey Eric, how you doing? It's Sean from Maryland.
What's up, Sean from Maryland? How may I help you?
So I got just a quick question.
Yeah.
I have a Jayden Daniels Mosaic stained glass PSA 10.
Okay.
I just got back from grading.
Nice.
And I also have Malik Nabers Kaboom PSA 10 graded. Just got back from grading. And I do sales on eBay. I don't have time to go out and sell them to people.
Okay.
Would you list it now on eBay, or would you hold till July when the season starts?
Yeah. Is it the horizontal or vertical variation of the Jayden Daniels, for example?
It's a vertical of the Malik Nabers Kaboom.
And what about the Daniels?
So the Daniels is a stained glass.
Oh, stained glass. Oh, stained glass. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Stained
Um,
glass. And then tell me, while I look this stuff up, like, what's your goal? Is your goal to just like overall goal with sports cards? Is it to like make a side income? Is it just like you're having fun? Is it to quit your job? Like, what's your goal?
nah, just have a little bit of fun, make a little bit of extra money on the side. I got a full-time job, and I got a bunch of kids, so I don't have a lot of time to
Yeah.
do too much. But so I just basically buy raw. I got a couple Caleb Williams I'm going to send to PSA. I took your advice on the Sam Darnold. I bought 4 PSA 10s of his.
Oh man, you really
Um,
all right. You listen to my content. Hopefully I don't
I,
disappoint. Remember, there's
yeah,
no financial guarantees here.
yeah. No, I know. I'm just trying it. I've been in the sports cards for a while, so I'm just trying this out to see. And I got a Justin Fields PSA 10 gold.
Hmm.
I think that's a mosaic too. Uh,
Yeah.
but I did send it. I did send 2 Jayden Daniels off for grading, and got PSA 8s on the silver and the red, white, and blue.
Yeah. Hard to grade.
So
So I'll give you
yeah.
the answer. So and then tell me what you the Jayden Daniels, what'd you pay on it?
So I paid probably 800. I bought it right after it came out, a little bit, like maybe less than a month after it came out. So I overpaid for it for what it's going for raw now.
Yeah, it's well, I see the last. Yeah, a little bit. They're like
Yeah, it
600 ish
dropped.
raw. Um,
Yeah.
and then the what was I gonna say? And then you paid how much to get it graded?
So they upcharged me, and I think it came out to like $100.
Assholes. uh,
Yeah.
okay, so the stained glass. Okay, so the answer, like, if I'm giving you advice to purely just make as much money as possible, like I'm just gonna give you the
Hmm.
advice from that angle. The answer is to sell them. So the reason being is so the way okay. So like you're asking me, should you hold them to like July or August? Because you've heard me say, right, the stuff goes up and hype starts to build as you get closer to the season, right?
Yeah.
That really only applies to guys that like where their cards didn't come out this year. So like Bo Nix, Jayden Daniels, Caleb Williams, all those guys, because their cards come out, they're really high. They come down.
Hmm.
They don't really spike back up, maybe a little bit. So to show you an example, and this might be a little delayed because you're on the phone with me, but to show you an
Yeah.
example, so like this is what you could see. So like if we go back, so like CJ Stroud, right? His silver prism. So CJ Stroud was like last year was like the Jayden Daniels of this year, right? Everyone was on him. So if you look at
Hmm.
CJ Stroud, right, his silver prism PSA 10 comes out, it goes down and it stays at like $900 for like a few months. Then as we got closer to the season, it popped up to like 1,000 almost. So it went up like 10%, right? And that's what you could expect from one of these guys, but that Jayden Daniels card is like $1,700, $1,800. Number one, a stained glass mosaic isn't like the most. It's a really good card, but it's not like the most premium. Like Prism is premium, and then number two, even if it goes up 20%, right, and that $1,700 card turns into 2,100, wouldn't you rather have that $1,700 today to do the same thing you just did over again?
Oh yeah, well, 100%. Because I actually have it on eBay listed by now at 2,100. Because I saw the last one I think did like 1,800 or 1,700. I could be wrong. I have market movers too, so I've been watching what the card does. So, and I was just like, I just kind of want to sell it, and I'm a Commanders Redskins fan, so it's kind of hard to sell Jayden Daniels, but he makes
Yeah,
money.
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, my advice, just when it comes to making money, Malik Nabers definitely sell, for sure.
yeah.
But the Jayden Daniels, like if you're looking to hold a card that could go up like 20, 30, 40, 50%, that's the guys that nobody's on right now. So like the
Yeah.
reason, like it's gonna be hard for Jayden Daniels to go up 30% in value because everyone's already buying him. The reason you see spikes
Hmm.
in players or stocks or whatever is because nobody's on someone. They get
I
excited
got you.
and then they pop up. It's kind of like something is only an opportunity when no one else sees it as an opportunity. Like, no offense, everyone else sees Jayden Daniels as an opportunity. So, like, it's hard for his value to go up a lot. But like Sam Darnold, like the way I look at it is like he's so cheap, no one's on him. If he gains a little bit of hype, right, it'll be very volatile and pop up. So, and also just in my experience, guys like Jayden Daniels who are like really hyped, had a good rookie year, never, ever, ever matched their performance the next year. It just happens all the time. Look at CJ Stroud. Everybody, see, not only was CJ Stroud excellent his rookie year, but his team got better. Right? Stephon
Yeah.
Diggs, and Joe Mixon. People were like, oh my God, there's no way Stroud's gonna have a down year. Had a down year. His stuff plummets to like that silver prism that was like $1,000 before the season plummeted like $300 or $400. So if you want to buy Jayden Daniels, I mean, I'll be buying the shit out of him later in the year when they're probably not going to make the playoffs and his stuff is down 30% of 40% of what it once was. That'd be my advice if I was in your shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do want to sell it, and I was just wondering if I should sell it now or later. But I already kind of went into the motion of selling it now to see if I can get some buyers. But I might just put it on bid and to sell faster.
Yeah, if you bid it, it'll sell for like $1,700. You'll incur
And I already
13.
profit. So
Yeah, you'll make like 500-600 profit ish at the end of
yeah, that's
everything.
what I was estimating too. And another thing about the CJ Stroud Silver Prism, I
Yeah.
keep seeing a bunch of PSA 10s pop up on eBay, and they're relatively, in my opinion, kind of cheap. And I was thinking about buying one of his PSA 10s because
To
I bought
hold, if I
to
was
hold.
if I was buying a card already graded to hold, I'd opt for something. So like, what's your budget, for example, so I could kind of point you in the right direction.
Oh, I got just- money's fine.
Okay.
It's just I don't want to dip too much into it,
Yeah. So if money's
And
fine, and like a silver prism's like $400 or whatever it is, I would
mhm.
not. I'd rather spend that money on something colored. So because there's less
Yeah, I
PSA
got you.
10s of it, it's a less common card. Those cards usually appreciate more. So for example, let me share my screen here and I could hopefully help you. So like CJ Stroud, Prism, PSA 10, 2023. Like I would much rather like let's see if you just go on eBay and you search for cards with like minimum $300. I'd much rather have a colored card of like, oh wow. Oh man, shit. I wish I fucking saw this card that ended at gold prism ended at 8,300. Shit. How did I see that? I search for it all the time. Fuck. See, you got me aggravated now. So like okay, so like this purple pulsar that sold for 338 PSA
Mhm.
10, I'd much rather have that card than the silver prism for like a similar
Yeah.
price. Or like
I was just curious to see if the Silver Prism, because I saw it did do $1,000 right before the season started last year, and then it's dropped down significantly. So I was just curious to see if it would jump back up to 1,000 if you get it
nah,
around
there's no
300,
way.
$400.
There's no
Yeah.
there's no way. Like if you're buying that's like your goal, like my goal when it comes to buying cards graded, my minimum I want to make is 20%. Like 20, and if things go really well, like 50%. But like
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I'm aiming for like minimum 20%. So that silver prism card will probably maybe it'll get up to like 550-ish, 550 maybe. But nah, it's not gonna get to
Okay.
1,000 unless something crazy happens.
Okay, and I also did buy 2 Bryce Young PSA 10s, but I bought the Silver Prism at when it was like at a 130 or 115, something like that.
Okay.
PSA 10. So
Curious where you
yeah.
did you get that advice from me?
Probably. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I gave all that advice. It's funny because like I have no time in my life, so like I go out there and I say like who I think are good buys, like Bryce Young.
Mhm.
Like now he's not a buy anymore because his stuff's went up. Like
Yeah.
you bought that card for 115, and now that card is like 180 to 200.
Yeah,
So
that's what I've been seeing.
yeah, so like now it's when I don't know why it's popped back up so much, but I was expecting that to happen in a few months. But I thought I had time with Bryce Young, but I have none of it. I might have one Bryce Young actually. But like I was giving the advice, but I didn't do it myself because I thought I had time, but it went up in value. But I invested heavily or more heavily in like Darnold. Darnold, and we got some love, a little bit of Purdy. But
Yeah, I'm trying to stick mostly to quarterbacks, but I've dipped into the wide receivers a little bit. That's why I got the Malik Nabers. So I think I'll just stick to quarterbacks.
Those cards
It's
are
simple.
good. Yeah, receivers good to buy and grade. But when it comes to holding, buying cards already graded, I would never buy anything that's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
Just as a heads
Okay.
up.
Appreciate it.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
That's it.
Awesome. Well, let me know. Keep me updated on how it's all going in the future.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Another one. All right. Calling someone back.
Hello.
Hey, you got Eric. You're live.
Hi. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? What's your name?
My name's Landon.
Landon, how can I help you?
I'm good. So I'm just getting into cards, kind of.
Okay.
And I was wondering what you use to check the comps on cards.
It's a site called, the best one, the simplest one to use is 130point.com.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. I don't know why. Whenever someone young calls in, they have one question, they ask it, and they just hang up right away. It's kind of funny. Another one?
Hello.
Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live?
Hey, what's happening, man?
What's up?
I
what's
called
your
the
name?
other day. It's Sam from Austin.
Cool. What's up, dude?
Okay. What is your point of view on this? So if I get this Jayden Daniels pink auto, PSA 10 auto 10, it would be a pop 1. Would, being that the market isn't, created on it other than just the PSA 10 itself, is there a premium for that? Being a pop 1, auto 10 and all that.
So
And
wait,
if
what's
so,
the card? It's a pink Prism auto, you said?
yeah, pink auto Prism for JJ McCarthy.
Oh, McCarthy. Okay, McCarthy. Got it.
Hmm. And there's some 10s out there, but they're not 10s,
Yep.
So this would be a pop 1. And from my understanding, I guess there should be a premium of a 30% upcharge or something like that. And it recently sold for $13.50.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
30.
That's why I'm calling. But
So this is a card that you got graded?
yeah.
Yeah, a 30% kind of hefty. With the 10 autograph grade, usually it's like a 10% lift. Could be 20.
Okay.
I would, if I was in your shoes, how much did you pay for the card?
I pulled it.
Oh, well, if I was in your shoes, I would sell it for, if you auction it, I would imagine it would do $1,450 to $1,500, which means you would net if you minus a 13% fee off $1,500, you're netting $1,300. I would go out there on social media and just post it for $1,350 net. So just say, hey, I want to net $1,350, the same as the other 10 sold to that auto, and it'll sell pretty quickly. It's gonna be hard. You could try to get $1,500-$1,600, but I don't think anyone's gonna give it to you. But if you could net $1,350, that's what I would do if I was in your shoes.
Got it. Cool. And then with that, because it's going to be coming in here shortly, be able to sell that, I think, pretty quickly after that. What is your opinion, being that Anthony Richardson is the quarterback that he is and liable to get hurt?
Yep.
His backup being Daniel Jones, all around, decent, above average quarterback, in my opinion. Is that something to maybe as a sleeper? I think midseason, inevitably, he's going to play.
Yeah, but I just think not a bad idea, but I think that there's just better opportunities to put your money. You're just guessing, hoping, and praying. I think that if Richardson gets hurt, probably a 50% chance, 60% chance, and then also if if Daniel Jones starts to play, I don't think his value is just going to increase just because he's about to play, because people already know what you're getting out of him. He needs to start playing well, and he's an average-ish, below average quarterback. Not a play I would make, especially because I like to have all my football gone before the season starts. I think there's better opportunities out there buying guys if you want to go that route and buy a backup. For example, I bought a gold prism of Jordan Travis. He's the backup for the Jets. He was their 5th round pick.
I've got some. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a better.
He was my second option.
Yeah, I think that's a better idea, because the way I look at that is like, okay, so he's a backup, and so is Daniel Jones. But if they start competing in camp, or there's like a rumor he could possibly start, his stuff will spike. Daniel Jones is not going to start for the Colts. It's very unlikely. I think he's considered the backup. Richardson's the starter. The Jets, it's like an open competition. Fields, Travis, and there's just rumor Travis starts playing well, you're going to see his stuff spike. So that's why I like buying. Like, it's not always. It's a great idea. Like buying a backup guy who could compete in camp. The floor is low. If he doesn't compete or it doesn't go up, you break even. And if he starts competing in camp, or he just starts to start, or he gets announced he's the starter, it skyrockets. So I don't
And
like.
these are plays that you're doing graded cards on, right? For
Jordan Travis. No. So like that's what's cool about Jordan Travis. So like you buy his cards now, they're cheap, right? And either A, hopefully you get some 10s and you're just gonna make money from that alone, or B, you get 10s and when they come back, Jordan Travis gets announced that he's taking first team reps with Justin Fields and his stuff skyrockets. So it's like a very low risk, high reward strategy.
So with that being said, you're thinking maybe do higher end, so something that's like a Jordan Travis numbered, higher end, colored, something along those lines that are
No, you
a
don't.
few $100s, and then do the $50 grade to get it back quicker.
No, you don't need to do higher
Because it's
end.
getting crunch time.
I wouldn't do higher end. You like any Jordan Travis, so like silver prisms, like I would actually go with probably like if you're grading cards, like the Jordan Travis card I bought is higher end, but like I would go with like lower end stuff like $50, $100, like but a $50 or $100
But if I'm
card
doing
is
that, if I'm doing that and I send something out, it's going to be mid-August before I get my cards back, and the hype's already gone. The guy that's deemed as a quarterback's already chosen.
Well, a lot of times these guys don't get announced like who the starter is up until like a week before. But yeah, if you want to play it safer, but like, let's see. So it's right now April 30th. And yeah, so maybe I'd go and opt to buy cards where you can use the $40 service so they get back to a little bit quicker. So you probably have them back in July. So you're like them fully back before preseason starts. Because with someone like Jordan Travis, all it takes is one preseason game of he goes 7 for 9 with 80 yards and 2 touchdowns, and his stuff's gonna spike up. So yeah, I'd probably, if it's gonna take till August, I didn't with our students, I'm not seeing it's taking that long. But if you're seeing it takes that long, I would opt to buy just a little bit higher end cards, maybe like $200 cards, $250, so you could use that $40 service.
I just assumed it because hell, it's been a month and I've had my cards out there through eBay, or not eBay, GameStop, and it's still saying that they shipped it and they haven't received it.
Yeah, I've
so
never used GameStop. I either send myself or I have one of my employees do it. I just send it to him and he does it, so it's right away. I can't speak for it.
Yeah, my higher end I send by myself, but the lower stuff I just kind of send in bulk and just let them do it. For
the lower
reasons.
end bulk stuff, our students have been seeing. We don't get any like special treatment, but I've seen it like 2 months ish. Like some get it back in like 5 weeks, but some get it back in like 9 weeks, 10 weeks. But I've seen it like 2 months ish. Obviously, can't make you any guarantees, but yeah, but it's gonna be like Jordan Travis. It's gonna be hard to find cards that are like a few $100s. Like a card of his that's like $300 is like very high end. Like it's a very high end card of his because like he's cheap, which is the whole like premise of what we're doing here. But like, I mean, shit, I'm looking at silver prisms right now and they're $50. PSA 10s.
Oh wow!
So
yeah, wow.
Like, I mean that card, if he starts to do something, could easily go up to 150. So you can mix in both.
What I've noticed when looking again, obviously I have to, get into the club and get all the details while looking. But for the general view of looking at a card through eBay, it's the bottom right corner and the top and bottom of the centering is what I'm finding with these new 24 prisms.
Yep. That's the main. Those are the main problems.
I'm sure there's other cues, but those are the main ones. Okay.
Yep, those are the main problems.
Well, cool. I'm gonna tell my wife it was your decision to make me spend over $1,000 on Jordan.
Please do not. That's I've done good with my predictions, but I don't want to diversify. Don't your wife probably isn't. Your wife probably isn't a fan of sports cards already. So. So maybe
Yeah, you can say that again.
yeah, it's funny. No wives are fans of sports cards. Like when I think I don't know if I said this to you or someone else in the last podcast I did, but we have like a sales team, right? So you get on calls with our sales team, and if it makes sense, they'll sell you into the program. And like, an objection that comes up is like people always say like, I want to run this by my wife. And we always tell them like, listen, just buy the damn program. Don't run it by your wife. We already know she's going to say no. Go in there, make some money, then show her the money. Because like if you try to explain to your wife that you can make money with sports cards, just they never believe it until you actually show them proof.
The funniest part about it is I have like 2 Pokemon in here, and so she deems them all as Pokemon. It's like you just I'm just like, oh my god, they're sports cards. Shut up.
Yeah, because they think like wives. I can't blame them. And this is not to sound sexist, but I've been doing this a long time, and because like when your wife, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong here, because like I'm not married. I've been single for 10 years and got a girlfriend a month ago, but she knows this is what I do full time, so like there is no fussing. But like when your wife sees you on eBay, or you have cards that come into the house, just naturally it looks like it's like your fun hobby that it's like golfing with your buddies. It's like you're taking time away from us and you're not being productive with that time. But like in reality, it's a business. It's no different than like me running Major League Profits or you owning like a marketing company. Like you're flipping cards, it's a business. Like, but like from the outside, it looks like it's a fun hobby, which it is, but it's a fun hobby that's actually a business that makes money. But yeah, that's been my experience with husbands and wives. I've had my fair share of wives call me, be like, "What the fuck? What did my husband buy?" And I'll be like, "Just calm down, relax, give it a month." And then they'll call me back a month later saying, "I'm sorry for cursing at you and yelling at you. You actually have a good program, blah, blah, blah." It's happened to me multiple times. So I'm familiar with the process.
I guess while I have you here, Ben,
Yeah.
so I've noticed though also on the kabooms, case in point, the Caleb Williams and the JJ McCarthy. I've got both of them. The JJ McCarthy I've already got sent out for grading as well. What I've noticed, the reason why I sent the JJ McCarthy and not the Caleb Williams is I've noticed that all of the PSA 10s don't have as clear cut of a print line as the 9s do that I'm seeing at the top towards the helmet.
Yep.
And then, so this one, mine clearly has that. And then what I'm noticing though with the JJ McCarthy is that there's like this, on all the 10s, really all the cards, 10s, 9s, Raws, all of them, they've got this dot. I don't know if it's like it looks like a smear, but even the 10s have it. But I'm noticing that the 9s have also that print line. Mine doesn't have the print line. So when I'm looking online for these cards, is that an advantage now that I kind of know that? And so these people, when they see it, it could be a 10. You're right.
Yeah, for sure. That's a
So
competitive
is
advantage.
that something that you also look for?
Yeah.
Is that stuff? Those? Okay.
Yep, I do that same exact thing. So if you see a card and it has like this weird little dimple and you see it on all the cards, then what I would do, like you're doing, is I would look at PSA 10 and say, okay, do PSA 10s also have this weird dimple? And if they do, then I know it's okay to buy. If they don't, then I know it's not okay to buy.
Okay. Well, cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, I probably just gave up my whole thing there. But
oh man, I'll try to. I'll cut that part out. No, I won't. I won't. If I give away all my buys, you have to give away your little secret for buying kabooms as well.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, cool. If you have any other questions,
appreciate you, bro.
Feel free to call into the next one. Keep doing your thing.
Cool. Thanks.
All right, later. You have Eric. You're live.
Hey, Eric. How's it going today?
What's up, dude? What's your name?
Noel.
Noel. Where are you calling from, Noel?
Vermont.
Vermont. Okay, snowboarding. Snowboarding, Vermont. Got it. That's all I know about Vermont. I've been there once. Snowboard at Killington.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. It's nice up here.
How can I assist you?
So I have a couple questions about your program. I've been listening to a couple shows, and one of the questions I have is that I think on one of the shows you said that on average, a newer person in your program, on average, they might do about $2,000 in profit a month starting out. And then you have, maybe some more experience that are have the capability of reaching around 10 a month, really. I wonder what's the biggest difference between those two type of people that and what they can accomplish. Is it of course there's some work ethic involved, but I wonder is it also the strictly the number of cards they're able to transact on in a given month, or
yes, yeah.
just
So
that kind of idea.
yeah, so the way it works. Okay, so two answers. So number one, to make like 10K a month, 10K a month, you need like at least like a budget of like 10, 15 grand to spend. If you don't have that, you're not gonna make that. That's number one. And then number two,
And that's above the cost of getting yourself into the program.
oh yeah. The program. So the way the program works, I can't say the price live on here because the price does change a little bit. But the way it works, we have two
Okay.
programs. We have a smaller one and a bigger one. We make everybody buy the smaller one first, so you can get in there, make some money. We build your trust, and then if the bigger one makes sense, where you get like more one-on-one coaching, support, etc., then you can buy that one. That's the way like the process works. Smaller one and a bigger one. And there's students that
And
have gone.
what do you see as an ideal time frame between the jump up to the next level?
It depends. So like the people, so like there's a handful of people that jump up to the next level right away, like a few days in. But these are the people that usually have a career, only have like 30 minutes to 45 minutes a day to spend on this, but still want to make an extra few thousand a month. They have a bankroll like 5-10 grand at least. They usually jump up right away because it just makes so much sense because you make so much more money so much quicker with less stress and less time. But if you're like more skeptical or you have a little bit less money and more time, we tell you, hey, stay in the smaller one for now. Start making $1,000, $2,000 a month, then you can upgrade. It depends on your situation. There's some people that do it right away, some people that don't. And we just kind of tell you what we think. Probably in Vermont with crappy connection. I've been there. Just text them and say, we'll call you back after the next one. Let's call the next person in queue.
Hello?
Hey, what's up? You got Eric. You're live.
Oh, hi.
What's up, dude? What's your name?
Thomas.
What's up, Thomas? How can I help you?
Well, I mainly had a question on a certain card, if you would get it graded or not.
Go for
just
it.
because it is a 2023 select draft picks, Miles Murphy, red laser, auto, numbered to 5.
Okay. And is the card in good condition?
Yeah, I mean, I already looked at it. The only thing that's a little off is maybe a tiny bit on the centering on the backside.
Wait, what's his name?
Miles Murphy. He's a defensive end, so not like a big name.
Do you know what the card's worth about?
I can't even find anything on it, no.
I mean, Byron Murphy?
Nope, Miles Murphy from the Clemson Tigers.
Oh, yeah, it's not going to be worth enough to get graded.
That's kind of what I figured, because I saw some of his other numbered stuff being, I guess, priced a little higher, but no sales on any of it.
Yeah, so defensive end, Clemson, it's not going to be worth, just take my word for it, it's not going to be worth getting graded. Simple answer.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Set of like an auction or something right before preseason there.
Yeah,
kind of my main.
That would be your best bet. Just sell for what you can get. It's not going to be worth getting graded. It's not going to have a market, especially if I don't know who he is. Probably doesn't have a market.
Yeah, I figured. That's my kind of luck with doing like box openings.
Yeah, well, box openings is just gambling. You're most likely gonna lose money.
Oh yeah, I know. But and then my other question. So I see like you're into like Sam Darnold for like under hyped investments.
Yep.
I don't know what you think about like Spencer Rattler, because I got a couple of his like purple shocks that look pretty good that I was considering.
His hype kind of died because everyone he's no good. He played a bunch last year, and then the whole Sam Darnold thing of me buying like Sam Darnold. That's only like I buy those cards already graded. But if you're getting started in sports cards, it's much better to buy newer guys. Buy them, grade them, sell them. You don't have to play that hype game. Just buy, grade, sell, buy, grade, sell. You start buying cards already graded, like older guys like Sam Darnold and stuff, and playing the hype game once you start making like a few grand a month. But I wouldn't do that stuff.
Yeah, just because I guess I don't really know. But I mean, I've been sending in like a bunch of the Caleb Williams Optic stuff, and then Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah,
And
that's
then I
the
guess
game you want to be playing.
okay, and then I do have one other card that I'm questioning on, just because it is older, but
go for it.
Still Brian Thomas. It's a 24 draft picks, number to 249, Brian Thomas Jr. Blue Prism. The 9's a little lower. It's about like $23, I guess, worth a 9, but it looks pretty good, and it's like 66 as a 10. So one of like my smaller cards.
Yeah, if it's in good condition, I'll send it in for grading. That's just on the cusp.
All right.
I would send that in.
Alrighty.
Sweet. Any other questions?
No, I think that's it.
All right, awesome. If you have anything else, feel free to reach out.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Hey, what's up? You got Eric. You're live on the show.
Hey, how's it going, Mr. Eric? Good morning, sir.
What's up? What's your name?
My name's Raul.
Raul, how can I help you, Raul?
Yes, sir. Just got a quick question for you, man.
Go for it.
So, new to the hobby.
Yep.
Okay. A couple weeks ago, pulled a Patrick Mahomes Kaboom vertical. Got the big Dallas card show coming up, and man, I'm stuck on what to do with it. Keep it or get it graded. They've taken it to a couple places. They said it's possibly a strong 9. They see something on it on the surface, but I can't see shit, man. I don't know. So
who told you that? Who told you that it's gonna be a 9?
It's just a couple of card shops that I go to.
They're probably they could be lying to you, so they buy it from you and grade it themselves. But they're probably not.
Yeah.
They're probably not lying.
Okay.
If multiple people told you it's a 9, it's probably a 9. I would not grade it. I would just sell it at the Dallas card show.
Sell it
and let someone else take the risk of grading it.
Gotcha. And that was my next question. Like I was thinking, to sell it or trade it for, and I did listen to one of your other shows where you said, you can buy, another 3 or 4, Jayden Daniels prisms, silver prisms, and send those to get graded. Maybe 3 out of 5, grade a 10. Get a nice little profit out of that. But then I was kind of confused also. So you said you wouldn't buy a graded Jayden Daniels, a 10.
No, I would not. I would not buy.
So you wouldn't
Jayden Daniels already good. I would, if I was in your shoes, I'd be buying, grading, selling, and buying like the rookie QBs. Daniels, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Drake May, those guys.
Okay, so just get a variety of those and
grade them.
That's what I pretty much.
Yeah, that's the game you want to play.
Yeah, I think that's what I was just confused about. Because again, this is just I'm new at it. I think that was the worst thing that could possibly happen to me is pull something like that. I was just wondering. Maybe I'd rather get a couple of Daniels silver prisms, couple of JJ. I like your idea of the Sam Darnold. I really do.
Yeah, I would not do the Sam Darnold idea. I would only do that once you start buying, grading, and selling cards and making a few grand a month. And like buying cards already graded, which is what like the Sam Darnold cards I'm buying are already graded. His rookie year was 5 years or 6 years ago or 7 years ago. So like his cards have been graded already. Like you're not going to find anything that's going to get a 10, or I doubt it. So you want to, I would not do that yet until you have a bankroll of like an extra 15, 20 grand and you don't know what to do with all the money. That's when you dump it into cards already graded. But there's more quicker money in buying cards to get graded.
Buy your cards to get graded. Okay. Now, would you do this at the big Dallas card show, or would you just like go to another card show, or sell my raw card and go to eBay and then get those other cards on eBay like you've mentioned before?
I would try at the Dallas card show, see if you can get cash. And after the Dallas card show, if you don't, I try to sell for 90% of the value, whatever the comps are. And if you don't get that at the Dallas card show, then auction it.
Auction it off. Gotcha. All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time. I was again, I'm new to this, so it's fun though.
Yeah,
I just wanted to. This is everybody tell me I just got lucky getting that card.
It's better. Just starting better to be lucky than good.
I hear you, man. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Mr. Eric, and
good luck.
And keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Hey, you got Eric. You're live.
Hey, this is Ryan. calling from Oregon.
What's up, Ryan from Oregon? We're in Oregon.
Northeast.
Is that our first student ever? This is this 18-year-old kid. His name is Brock. Now he's actually a decently big digital influencer, but he used to live in Bend, Oregon. Is that close?
Oh yeah. I'm familiar with Bend. It's about 4 hours from me.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But how may I help?
Bend's a cool spot. So I've got a little predicament here. I caught the breaking bug when I first got into the hobby last year. And went
I feel
gung ho.
like sorry to cut you off. I feel like I should be working for Gamblers Anonymous. I feel like that's like half my job, like telling people to stop gambling. But okay, continue. Sorry.
Right. Well, I ended up stopping. I ended up breaking myself doing probably 400 breaks or so. In the mix of that, I ended up with a lot of base CJ Strouds, a lot of blue scope CJ Strouds, blue hypers, green hypers, Bryce Youngs, numbered hobby Anthony
stuff.
Richardsons and stuff like that. What do you do with stuff like CJ Stroud base cards? Would you send stuff like that? If I have 25 of them, would you send a grip of those if they look good centering and whatnot to something like SGC just to have, because you already own the cards? So
Yeah,
you don't.
You already own the card, and my rule is, can a 10 at least double my money? So you own the card, so your investment now is $20 to get it graded or whatever it is. Can I net at least 40 as a 10, as an SGC 10 or PSA 10? If not, I don't grade them. If I could, then I do grade them. Can you net $40?
I don't know what the price of those cards will be when season starts. I mean, right now, no, it's lower, but
yeah,
obviously,
even like a base Daniels who sells for more than Stroud right now. His stuff, it's hard with base stuff. Like, I don't even understand why people grade base stuff. I look at it and I'm like, didn't you spend $20 to get it graded and you only sold it for 25? But unfortunately, no. Probably it doesn't sound like that stuff is worth grading. That hyper stuff or pulsar stuff, whatever you were saying, that sounds like it's worth getting graded.
Yeah, it's a bunch of optic is what I've got. I was pretty new in the hobby and really fell in love with optic hobby.
Okay.
So I have a ton of, like optic jazz cards, optic electricity, all the numbered stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a Anthony Richardson red out of 99. So stuff like that. It's hard just trying to figure out now what I can afford to send in. Cause I mean, I've got a pile of 350 cards here already sleeved up in my card saver and stuff.
So what I would do, go through the pile, pick out anything that's in good condition. So now let's say you have a pile of like 150, and now you're just
these are good condition. These are ready to go.
Condition.
They've been cleaned.
Yeah, so all I'm doing is just looking, can I net $40? This is 10. That's it. You could? Great.
Okay.
Or like with SGC, I think it's like, what is it, $12 or $15 to grade it? So
15 now. Yeah, they quit that little special they had.
So I'd just be looking, okay, can an SGC 10 get me 30? Or a PSA 10 get me 40? If I do, great. If I could, great. Bulk send all those in. The ones that can't, I'm not sending them. That's my general rule.
Okay. And do you change that thought at all if, say, you have 15 or 20 of a card that can pull $20 profit? If that makes sense. So I have 15 of one type of a card. One card is
what card
the same
is it?
card. I got 15 of them. I'm just spewing.
Well,
asking kind of what you do in that situation. I've got 15 of the green hyper prices. Now those are worth more.
From
I've
his
got
rookie year, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And what is it? Is it Prism? Is it Optic? What is it?
Optic.
I don't even know if there is green.
Oh, here's a good example for you. So I've got probably 25 hollow Puka Nakuas, optic hollows.
Okay.
From his rookie year. Now that's a cheap card. It's selling for nothing. Would you think about sending something like that in because I've already got them? Make $10 per card, $20 per card, or should I just worry about selling them raw for $2 a pop?
Let's see. I'll tell you. So I'm looking at this Bryce Young here. Let me share my screen, and it might be delayed for you, but I'm gonna share my screen. So first is Bryce Young to answer your question. So green hyper,
right.
Bryce Young. So this card is like $10 raw, about ish. So
yeah.
And are there any PSA 10 sales of it? Let's see any. Let's look here. Green hyper Bryce Young. PSA 10 did 60. Yeah, so this is a great card to buy and grade. So it did 62. The last 10 did $62 in January, but that card, Bryce Young's up like 30-40% since then. So that's probably a $80 card now as a 10. The Bryce
Yeah,
Young.
I need to get those sent in.
Yeah, I'm definitely sending those in. And then the other one was what? The Puka Nakua Optic Hollow, right?
Hollow. Yeah.
Let's see here. Optic Hollow.
And I might have 30 of those damn things.
Yeah, I mean, those are any Optic Hollow of any decent player is usually good to send in. That's like a $60-$70 card. And then I think I could pick up a little bit of steam as it gets closer to the season. I think you could sell them for like $80 a pop once you get closer to the season. But I would send those in.
Okay. And then another one, I ended up with a bunch of redemption mosaic sparkle packs.
Okay.
And it's kind of all over the place as far as those, but it's stuff like the gold mosaic. It's a Chris Johnson out of 8 or something like that. No, it's a green Chris Johnson.
Who's Chris Johnson? The running back?
Yeah.
Like from the Titans?
Yeah, oh yeah. So would you send stuff like that in? Because I've got the damn card.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably, if you buy that card, like, it's like, I'm looking here, it's like $15, $12 raw. If you 10 that card, it'll probably be like $25, $30. There's not a market.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking there. It's because I've got a lot of low numbered cards. I just didn't, if that's something that's worth sending in.
Yeah, that stuff, it's usually like, think about it, right? When you buy a card and grade it, and you're selling a graded card, who are you selling that card to? You're selling it to a collector or an investor.
Yeah.
And there's no, or not to my knowledge, many collectors or investors of Chris Johnson. So I would not. That one I wouldn't.
Okay. And then what about stuff like I've got from 2021 up, like My House Patrick Mahomes, stuff like that, inserts. Are inserts like that worth sending in? I know it's Patrick Mahomes, so his market's capped, but I've got the cards. Again, it's kind of my issue.
Yeah, I mean, I see here a PSA 10 of that My House Mahomes is like $70, $80, $60. Yeah, if you can net 40, goes in.
Cool. I'm sending them all in then.
All right, just make sure they're in good condition. I don't want you to call back in 2 months and be like, Eric, fuck you. I lost all my money.
Right. Nope. This is all on me. But I appreciate the answer there, man.
All right, cool. Yeah, good luck. Let me know how it goes.
All righty, we'll do. I'm going.
All right, you too. Calling back, Vermont man.
Hello?
Hey, what's up? You got Eric calling back. I think your connection timed out.
Yeah, I drive for work.
Yeah,
and I'm through the mountains today, so you might lose me again.
Driving in Vermont is, I know this. Connection's hit or miss.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think we left off, we were talking about the differences between earning ability and that kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah, so the 10K guys, so like most people that join the program, especially because like the way we run ads and like the way I talk about it is like, hey, do you have a job and want to make an extra few $1,000s a month? Well, come join our program. So most people's mindset is to make an extra few grand a month. The people that quit their jobs and like, replace, like there's this guy that just, his name's Brian. I'm probably not going to say his last name, but he was making like $8K a month as an insurance agent. Oh, it's timed down again. Jesus. Let's see. Questions. There's a lot of questions. All right. First one from Joe. From the UK, got a bunch of graded cards I'm struggling to sell on eBay. Wemby and Caitlin Clark. If you're struggling to sell those cards, that means you're probably overpriced. Would you recommend using a US consignment service? Go international shipping on the best offer? I like to sell cards myself. So like shipping from the UK, a card really isn't much more expensive, or it doesn't really take that much longer to get to the United States. I like to sell myself to build connections. That's the most powerful thing you do. Build connections, and then you meet people that pay you with no fees through Zelle or Venmo or whatever once you gain their trust. So that's the way I like to do it. But it sounds like you just have those cards overpriced, because if you're struggling to sell Wemby and Caitlin Clark, there's only one reason. Hold or sell Purdy, depends on the card and depends on your situation. I pulled the 2024 Obsidian International Jayden Daniels rookie card orange at a 24. Can't find any comps. Sending it off to PSA. How much do you think it'll be worth as a 9 and as a 10? Well, let's look. So Let's see. What was it? It was a Jayden Daniels. Sorry, my screen probably looks crazy. Obsidian, orange out of 24. Obsidian, Jayden Daniels out of 24. Let's take a look at Obsidian. There really are no comps. Jayden Daniels. Let's see. Black Color Blast. Oh, I'm at highest. Let's do like ending soonest. What was it called again? I'm not familiar with this card. International. Okay, so here we go. So Blue Wave SP does like 167. Black Pulsar. Yours is numbered to 24. So this is numbered to 6. Did 885. If numbered to 6 did 885, number to 24, I'd imagine would be $500. So PSA 9, probably around $500. PSA 10, 13 to 1500 is where I'd go. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's see what other questions. Hold an uptown and a downtown worth grading or sell raw. If you can net at least $40 as a 10, I would send it in for grading, which you probably could. Eric, with the bottleneck at PSA, should I focus on buying cards already graded for the potential shortage at the West Coast card show due to everything being stuck at PSA not available for sale? Me personally, I wouldn't. I would keep buying cards to get graded. It's just like, because the way I look at it is, it's just you're kind of extending the time to get these cards back. But once you start to get cards back, it starts rolling in. It's calling back. New guy. Go for it. What's up, man? You got Eric? You're live?
Hey, Eric. This is Tim from Dayton, Ohio.
What's up, Tim? My girlfriend's from Dayton, Ohio, actually. She's from Huber Heights, actually. I think it's called the name of the town. That's all I know about it.
I'm from a little town southwest in Germantown, actually.
And she told me there's not much there. What she told me.
Yeah, not a whole lot going on, but yeah, I've been collecting cards since I was a kid. I actually had 6 children and kind of stopped collecting cards at that time, and then picked it back up about a year ago. But anyway, I was just curious what your opinion on the CJ Stroud contenders. He doesn't have any sign. They're not signed, obviously. So would you think like the low number, the colors would be ones to go after for long-term value?
You're buying these cards to hold into the preseason and hopefully sell them and make money, right?
Yeah. Like I've bought a lot of this. Well, I've bought a handful of the silvers. Actually, I've watched you quite a bit and everything. I
nice.
Bought 3 silvers raw, and they all gem mint 10 actually. So, but I did buy a raw contenders red optic. I think it's out of 149 CJ. And I sent it in. It's at PSA right now. But I was just curious if that might be something that you would think about holding something like that. Obviously, turn to silvers. Do you think there's a long-term strategy with the lower numbered cards, or no? Or just sell it?
When you say long-term, any CJ Stroud card, any football card, I'm selling before the season starts. So when you say long-term, are you talking about a few months?
Yeah, I mean, I see. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I guess part of that, like, we're Ohio State fans, obviously. So CJ's, we're big fans of those. So that'd be like one of the only. I may look at one card for a potential like long-term collecting.
Hold one. Hold one.
What I mean, else to sell, I'm selling.
Yeah. So I guess what's your question? Like, what are the best Stroud cards to buy, to hold? Is that your question?
Yeah.
Like,
do you think it's like his contender low numbered cards are going to be like more sought after years down the road if he does have a successful career?
Yeah, the most sought after cards of CJ Stroud. So his contenders is not autographed because he does not have like a deal with Panini, so they're not autographed.
Right.
So the most sought after CJ Stroud cards are gonna be his colored Prism, like his high end colored Prism, are gonna be the most sought after.
Okay, so probably like, and you think there's like color match plays a factor into that as well?
Yep, color match always gets a nice little bump. But yeah, like if I had to like buy one card of CJ Stroud that I think is like the best card to buy for long-term value if he plays well and budget is not an option or price doesn't matter, it would be a gold Prism CJ Stroud.
Got it. All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. Appreciate all your content, and I'll keep on watching. And thanks again.
Awesome. Cool. Keep doing well.
Thanks.
Someone sent cards, and he's curious if these cards are worth getting graded. All right. Let's share my screen here. And so someone sent in a card, and they're not sure if they should grade it. So, okay. He said he's concerned about the print line wear. I don't see a print above his name. Oh, I see it right here. Yeah, that card. Let me just look at other cards just before I start talking. So this is the card. The same card right here. I just want to see if all the cards have this. No, not all the cards have this. Yeah, this card's not getting a 10 because of this print line. I would absolutely not send this in. Yeah, there's no way that card 10's unless the grader's blind. So yeah. Anything else in the queue? Hopefully Vermont Man calls back next time so I can answer his question. But I have to run. I have a bunch of stuff to do today. I would do this for another hour or so if I had the time, but I don't. If you have any questions, I try to do these on Mondays and Wednesdays. I go live at 10 a.m. Eastern. Try to do it. I do it almost every week. Sometimes I'm traveling, so I can't do it. But any questions, feel free to call in. I know there's a bunch of questions in the chat, but we prioritize people that call in, so call in. It's a good time. Have a conversation. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Always feel free to call in. I'll see you guys in the next one.